What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Nigel Wilkins Show, man. Happy to be here, man. We got another great athlete in the building for the Kell Longhorns, man. Special player. His name is Brayden Rouse, man. Does a little bit of everything. I know he's going to be playing some linebacker this year. I seen this tape. We'll talk about it here in just a second. He caught a screen pass and returned it all the way home for a touchdown, man. So the kid's a stud. So we're going to get right into it. They're going to be playing in the Corky Kell against North Atlanta to open the season. So without further ado, let's bring them on.
Appreciate you having me, Najee.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming on, Brayden. How was practice, man? How's everything?
It was good. It was hot, but yeah, definitely getting in that work, getting ready for the Corky Kell game. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you this, man. I maybe I'm tripping. I feel like it's hotter in August than it was in July.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't lie. It's a different time right now, but we're working through it, so it's preparing us for sure.
Certainly, man. And then I want to ask you, for people that don't know you, Brayden, just tell us a little bit about your story. What kind of grew you to the sport of football? Why'd you start playing?
Yes, sir. So my dad actually got me into football when I was young. I started in second grade. I wasn't that great. I was kind of like a running back type of guy, but didn't really play a lot. Moving up about fifth, fourth grade is where I started to develop a little bit into a receiver. Then I played receiver until sixth, seventh grade. Then I moved to quarterback because our starting quarterback got hurt. And then moving to Kell, strictly receiver. And last year I was receiver, obviously. And then this year they're kind of just moving me around everywhere.
So speak on that. Like, obviously, you say you started running back and then you went receiver and then you went kind of quarterback. How has that helped you? Like you said, you're going to be all over the field this year. So how have you kind of just, been able to take all that in?
Yeah, the running back part has helped for sure with obviously my cuts and stuff. All the training I used to do for running back definitely helps. But I used to play defense as well, so safety has definitely helped like my hips for linebacker. That's probably the biggest thing I think I took away from Little League football was playing defense from such a young age and getting with the right people. So it definitely made my hips a lot better.
And then recap the summer for me, because like you said, you've been playing wide receiver here for a little while now. What was that conversation like between you and the linebacker coach of the DC, or even Coach May? Hey, man, we want to use you in multiple ways this year, and you happen to be prepared for that as well.
There. So basically, last year, my sophomore year, I was a receiver only, and I kind of took more of the role as like the dirty player. So I was more of like the blocking type of guy because we had a really good receiving core. So I was a young player that was starting, so I did more of the dirty work. So they saw a lot of my physicality on tape and in the game. So they're like, "You want to play defense?" And I was like, "Sure. I mean, I'll play anywhere y'all want me to. I just want to play on the field." So yeah.
Okay. All right. What advice would you give other kids, man, that might be in your similar situation? They used to play a receiver, for most of their life, and then their coach say, "Hey, like we could use you defensively." What would you tell them to be ready for that moment?
Mainly just be ready to be physical. Love to be physical and get in the weight room. Take eating serious. How you stretch, rehab, all that stuff is going to be serious, especially if you're trying to get to that next level where you're trying to be as physical as possible. So just take physical.
No, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm basically saying take physicality to the next level. That's the main thing.
Gotcha. No, I was just going to ask, how do you stay well conditioned for yourself? Because, like you said, you're probably going to play both ways. So, for you, what are you doing in order to stay well conditioned so you don't tire out?
Just getting as many reps in practice as I can. Trying to stay in trainings on the weekends. Just doing as much activity as possible while also rehabbing my body and staying healthy. Because I know the heat and all the plays and how long the drives are and stuff like that, it's gonna bring a tear down on me. But as long as I keep practicing that in practice, I was doing it in the summer, all the padded camps, 7-on-7s, playing both ways. So I think all that training and all the practices and stuff has helped me, and it's definitely going to lead up to the Corky Kell game, and I think I'll be fine. But yeah.
Certainly. Did you have a favorite padded camp or 7-on-7 that you went to this summer that you really enjoyed?
I really loved the Georgia Tech 7-on-7. That was very fun. I think I got a lot of exposure from that also. But, yeah, that was probably my favorite one we did.
Yeah, bro. You were balling too.
Thank you.
You and Jaden, like, y'all was just going crazy. Like, I just remember, like, then he threw a pass, and then you was, like, just cooking dudes, like, in the red zone, the long ball, like.
That's my guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, talk about that relationship a little bit between y'all two, man. Y'all are really great players, and I heard y'all good off the field as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Jaden George, as well as the whole receiving core. I feel like that's one thing that our team is really good about. I feel like we want to see people succeed rather than try to tear people down and judge people. So, and especially the receiving core, I feel like we're probably the tightest group on the team. Like we bond so well, especially we've basically been together since my freshman year. So they've seen me grown and like they've definitely helped me develop, and they kind of just took me under their wing. Like we hang outside of football. It's more than just football with that group. I feel like we have fun on the football field and off the football field. Like we'll just kick back, hang out with the guys, go to football, handle business. And Jaden, he's a different type of athlete. It's crazy because his freshman year, you would have never thought he would have been where he is today. Like he put in that work. Like he deserves everything that's coming towards his way. Like he's one of those guys that works in the weight room. He's gonna be after practice getting in catches, hit up the QB, yo, let's go throw, hit up me, let's go get some work. Like he's always ready to work, as well as Luca, Landon, Trent, all those guys. I mean, I think it's just a really good group, and I think we have one of the best receiving cores in the state for sure.
Certainly. Okay, so one of the best receiver cores in the state. Let me ask you this: what is it like going up against that DB room that you got? That's also pretty good. Jalen Williams, right? Andrew Turner, Zade Rogan. What's that like in practice? That kind of banter back and forth between y'all two.
Yeah, it's definitely competitive. Honestly, it makes us better. I love it because it's very competitive, and we don't take it too far. But there is a little trash talk in there and stuff, and gets a little chippy sometimes. But that's how these best players are gonna be. Like if you have best players on both sides, it's gonna be a good competition for sure. So I love those guys, and we're friends off the field. There's no beef, but it's very fun in practice to get that competition.
Certainly. What for you? What has been the big message that Coach May and the coaching staff has kind of been preaching to you guys? Obviously, I know it's a new team this year. You guys graduated a lot of seniors. No Bryce Clavin, no Kyle Vaca, Payne Zachary transferred. Guys graduated, Marcavius Sabor. So, what's kind of been a message with this new group this year?
I think the biggest thing was kind of stepping up for some of us to be leaders, because we lost a lot of our leaders last year, and most of us were kind of role players. So this year it's kind of like everybody has a point to prove. So I feel like we have a little bit of chip on our shoulder, and we're a little bit of an underdog, honestly. But I feel like we play a little like more physical than we did last year, and we just got more stuff to prove. I feel like practices have been intense, and just the way we carry ourselves, I feel like the team has bonded amazingly, and just the leadership is definitely getting to a point where it could definitely take us far in the playoffs. Because I feel like with a good leadership and a good group of leaders, we can definitely lead our way to a deep run in the playoffs.
For those that don't know about this Kell program, one of the better ones in the state, tell them what does it mean to be a Kell Longhorn? What's kind of you guys' standard that, like I said, the coaches uphold you guys by?
Yeah, our slogan is "Doesn't matter, get better." So no complaining. If it's hot, doesn't matter, get better. You drop the ball, doesn't matter, get better. I mean, our standard is just work as hard as you can at all costs. Like if you mess up, we don't want to see you pout. Just go do another play, fix it, and then doesn't matter, get better. I feel like that's definitely our slogan and our biggest standard we have. But even like in the weight room, like don't take reps off, just little things like that. No walking around. We do not walk around. Helmets on the field. There's just echoing, like a lot of talking on the field. There's just little things out there that I feel like Coach May has definitely installed in this organization to like help us become better players and a better team.
Certainly. Have you guys? I know you guys played McEachern in the spring. Do you guys have a fall scrimmage, or have you guys already played that?
We played the fall scrimmage last week. It was against New Manchester. I think we played pretty well, honestly. Defensively was lights out. I don't think they scored on our first or second string. And offensively, we started off a little slow, and then we got into it. Once we get in that role, it's kind of hard to stop for sure. So yeah.
Certainly. For you, what is something that you want to showcase this year for people that don't know about Brayden Rouse, that you want to say like, hey, this is what I'm known for. This is what I could do on the football field.
Yeah. For the defensive side, I definitely want to show my physicality and just coming down field full speed and just lay someone out, because I feel like when people look at me, they see me as more of like a DB type of linebacker, but I want to show them that I can also hit and get downfield and maybe make a couple fumbles, get some sacks off the edge, stuff like that. And then offensively, just showing my versatility, basically scoring touchdowns, getting yards after catch, blocking, line of scrimmage attached, off, sniffer. Just I'm basically going to try to do whatever I can to help the team win.
Basically do it all. Then did you have any like stat goals individually you want to kind of accomplish this year?
Yes, sir. I was going for about 8 to 9 touchdowns offensively, and then around 130 tackles is my goal. Yeah.
Okay. Gonna be everywhere. I love that. All right.
Kinda
Let me ask you this. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I was saying I was about to average like 8 or 9 a game if I can, just trying to go all out every game because, I mean, I got 2 more years or basically 1 more year left. I got nothing to lose. So, yeah.
Okay. Try to get the more offers to come in.
Sure.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I want to ask you, is there a matchup on the schedule? Obviously, I know the first one is North Atlanta, but is there a matchup like you kind of like licking the chops? You're like, man, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to play this team. Like any matchup you kind of excited for?
Yeah, I got a couple. North Atlanta for sure. I feel like there's a lot of tension there, and they've been talking a lot of trash. So I would definitely like to embarrass them on TV. But then you also have Blessed Trinity, which I feel like a lot of people have picked over us, which I kind of take as disrespect. But I mean, Blessed Trinity for sure, and I would like to play Lowndes too because I feel like they're gonna think we're coming down there all scared and stuff in their field and that 3-hour drive or whatever. But the bigger teams on our schedule, I really like to play, and I feel like those are big matchups for us.
Certainly. Have you ever played in South Georgia before?
Oh, sir, no, this would be my first time.
Okay, man. All right, I might have to catch back up with you. Tell me how the experience was.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So I want to ask you some fun stuff real quick before we talk about your recruiting. I want you to give me your top 3 best linebackers ever and why. Tough list, I know.
Hard. I'm not an old head type of guy. I kind of like the versatile linebackers this day and age. So it would be probably just off of watching film and stuff. Can I do like who I compare myself to?
Sure.
Okay. I really like Isaiah Simmons. I feel like he can play anywhere. I also like what's his name? The dude on the Ravens. He transferred or he
Kyle Hamilton.
No. Oh yeah, Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton. Yes. He play safety and he can come down in the box a little bit, cover a little bit. Yeah,
everywhere.
I like.
Yes.
And then I used to like TJ Watt too. I like TJ Watt a lot. Okay. But yeah.
Those are your top ones. All right. All of those are great players, by the way. So good picks, man. In your eyes, I know you said you watched some film. Who do you think is dominating, in your opinion? Obviously, new age. Who do you think is dominating right now, whether that's collegiately or even professionally?
Collegiately, as a defense, it's Georgia. I mean, those linebackers are really good. I'm not gonna lie. Georgia's linebackers, Bama's linebackers. I like watching their drills sometimes, like their college practices and stuff, like on Twitter or whatever it is. But watching how fast they are and how physical they are, it's just they move the bags at a different way than most people. It's just I like the physicality from those type of linebackers for sure.
Gotcha. And professionally,
probably. Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna have to go with oh wow. Dude, honestly, I have no clue.
I love it. I got him stumped, y'all. I got him stumped. That's a good thing. Yeah, it's hard to really say a team that has the best linebacker. I mean, you made the argument maybe the Ravens or Roquan Smith, but you know, how high do you feel on maybe like the second tier guy? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to really say a team. Yeah, that's true. All right, man. So changing directions. Let me ask you this: what coach has had the biggest impact on you so far in your career?
Well, my dad is the offensive line coach. He's been wherever I've been, so his impact has been he's basically taught me everything. But one of the most recent coaches was probably Steph Brown. I feel like he always saw something in me, even as a freshman, and all the trainings we used to do, and just how, as a freshman, he put me in such a big spotlight, and like he helped me to a standard of the varsity players, which as the season went on, I got my chance to start and whatever. But I felt like he always kept me in the loop, regardless of how young I was or where I came from, how bad I was. Because I honestly, my freshman year, I was not that great, but he always saw something in me, and he just kept pushing me on and off the field. I mean, he taught me a lot. All the cuts that I do, all the releases, as a receiver group, like he taught us the deeper meaning to receiver, like more of why we're running the route and like where we're supposed to be, like how you can change the route a little bit based off the leverage, the coverages. Like he's definitely helped me like look at football a different way offensively for sure. And it's helped me on defensive side too, but Steph Brown for sure.
I know him very well, man. He gets a lot of players that are very complimentary of him and his training and how he teaches them, man. So that's big.
For sure.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So I'm asking a little about recruiting. You got 7 offers, man. So let's just start off. Who was the first school to offer you?
It was EKU back in December.
Okay. Have you been able to get on campus there?
Yeah, we went this summer on this bus tour we had. We took a couple players and we went to a couple of schools and did some visits and some camps. But we went down to EKU and I saw Coach Cox and we chatted up a little bit and just toured the facility, and it was extremely nice. So, yeah, I loved it over there.
Got you. And then so far this summer, obviously besides second, we'll talk about here in a second, what other schools were you able to visit?
On that tour, we did a lot, honestly. I think we went to like 12 or something. Oh, wow. Like Kentucky, Louisville, and it was within a couple of days. So it was like 30 minutes, 45 to an hour, whatever. But just did a couple tours, talked to the coaches. But Louisville, Kentucky was over there. We went to Tennessee, Old Miss, those type of schools. We kind of went more south, but I think next year we're going to try to expand up north a little bit. But
all right, got you, man. So obviously you talked about the camp that you like kind of the most this past summer, which was obviously 7-on-7, just for, like you said, exposure. So, you were just on campus at Georgia Tech for their big weekend. They had some of the top prospects in attendance. So what did that Georgia Tech offer kind of mean to you when they said, hey, Brayden, we want to offer you a chance to potentially play here on the next level?
It meant a lot, honestly, because I really do like how they run things over there. I feel like it's obviously college and high school is a lot different, but it's very similar to how we run our like practices and how we move and stuff. So going there and kind of seeing how like they handle themselves in like meetings and how the practice was ran and just meeting some of the players at the cookout, I felt like it would be a good fit for me, honestly. It was a good place for sure. And talking to all the coaches, definitely it was an eye opener for sure, because my former teammate Cedric was telling me how they were definitely interested, but I didn't really know like how interested. So going to the cookout and them offering me was definitely a surprise, but I definitely loved it and it was very fun for sure.
Now let me ask you this: like I said, you're an athlete, so what are they recruiting you as? Are they recruiting you on the offensive side of the ball, what you're good at, or are they recruiting on the defensive ball, what you're going to be good at as well?
I think it's definitely defense, because Coach Santucci offered me, but I think it's gonna be like outside linebacker probably. Yes, sir.
Okay. And talk about
I was with the linebackers the whole day, so it was linebacker.
Got you. Okay. And talk about a relationship you was able just to kind of start and build with Coach Santucci. What kind of impressed you about him and getting to know him?
Yeah, I didn't know, like I knew him, but we didn't really talk at the Georgia Tech 7-on-7. So I just followed him and I got his information, and then I texted him like a week or two before that, and I was just asking him how everything was going over there, and he was like, good. And then I was telling him how we were doing, and then he was like, you should come to this cookout. I was like, for sure. So I went there, and me and Jaden were over there, and we were just like playing cornhole or whatever, and he walked up with his whole family. And I just met his whole family. His little daughter was nice, and he's a really good coach and a really good guy. So I could definitely see myself playing for a person like him. And yeah, it was a good experience for sure.
For those that don't know about Georgia Tech, what's your thoughts overall just about the campus? Some people like, man, I'm not trying to go to Atlanta, man. Like, it's all that traffic, all the people. Like, but some players I've talked to that been on Tech's campus said, man, it's different. Like the environment, everything like that. Like, it's a beautiful campus. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the city's a little hectic, but the campus itself is very nice. I feel like the buildings and just like the structure of everything is super like high technology, obviously, but like they have a lot of new like things. Like the training room's insane, like practice facilities. They have a bunch of fields. You got these little bikes you can take everywhere and all these little scooters, so you don't got to worry about mobility. The cafeteria is nice. I mean, the whole campus is just beautiful, honestly. And the stadium is you can see the skyline within the stadium, so it's amazing.
Sorry, were you able to talk to Coach Key?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How was that conversation? Just first time meeting him as well.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
How was that for you?
It was good. We just told me to keep working, and he was asking how the summer went, obviously, and I was just telling him, catching him up, and we were just talking about the game they have coming up. It's somewhere, isn't it in like Europe or something? Where are they playing? Yeah, Ireland. Yeah, so we were talking about that game, but yeah, just catching up, giving him some info, and he told me to just keep working and get bigger. So yeah.
Got you. So obviously, I know it's going to be busy for you in the fall, but I know a lot of kids and special athletes like yourself, they get a lot of colleges want them to come up for a game visit. So overall, before we talk about Tech, just any schools you planning to kind of visit, get on campus, kind of see the different schools for game day visits.
Yeah, I would definitely like to get on Tech, obviously. South Carolina's up there. I was thinking about Boston College too. They're recruiting me at tight end, so try to get up to a Boston College game maybe in the bye week. Maybe look at maybe a Georgia game, Clemson potentially. Those are probably the schools up there right now. Maybe UNC too.
Gotcha. Do you care what you play on the next level, or it doesn't matter? Tight end or linebacker?
It depends what they want me to play. I'll play wherever they want me to, honestly. But I don't really have a preference. But it just depends on how they see me playing at the next level. So I'll do whatever they want.
Got you. What for you so far? What has been kind of just your favorite offer?
Ooh. On it could be. I mean, the first one was insane because it really did catch me off guard. But EKU was insane because I feel like it changed my whole recruiting. It really opened everything up. And after that, I got a couple offers, but then I had a little period where it was kind of slow for me. And then Georgia Tech, I feel like coming into the season and getting Georgia Tech, I feel like it's definitely going to open it up a little more.
100%. All right. Final question on recruiting. What has been your favorite? You say you went to a lot of campuses. What's been your favorite campus so far?
Ooh, there's a lot. Clemson is insane. I really love facilities because they have a football only facility, so they don't share with like other sports or anything. So that was nice, and I really liked Georgia's. Obviously, Georgia's was really cool. But yeah.
Okay. All right, got you, man. All right, so a couple more. I'll let you get up out of here. So talk about what you want to accomplish this season, man. So if you had to say defensively, let's say you're rushing off the edge, what is one of your favorite moves to maybe use against somebody?
I like the little swim move and then swipe under and maybe rip it, but the swim move off the edge and just use my speed as my advantage. So normally we don't blitz on the line, so if I'm coming like out of the box or whatever, I'll just use my speed and maybe do a little swim move or just a little rip through, but one of those for sure.
Got you. Who has been the toughest player you've ever went against in your career?
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, last year it was either obviously Mike Matthews was pretty hard because we couldn't really go in the middle of the field. He was kind of lurking there, but Sokovie White was definitely up there. I feel like offensively he took over, and then he was guarding me basically the whole game. So he was just talking trash. He was pressing the whole game, being really physical. So that was probably the toughest player for sure.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like what we see on the field, like with Sokovie, like it's legit.
he was legit for sure. He took over the game, but yeah.
Got you. What's been for you, Brayden? What's been your favorite moment in your high school career so far? What have you enjoyed the most being on the gridiron? Give me a favorite moment.
My favorite moment would probably be, honestly, it's probably not one singular moment. It's just running out that banner every time with the band. Like that feeling coming out to the game, you got the band, you got the crowd ready for kickoff. I mean, that you can't beat that. Honestly, it's just I love that type of energy and that vibe, but yeah, I can't pick one. I love the sport. It's too hard.
Certainly. Have you been able to play NCAA yet?
Oh yeah. Yes sir. We played a lot of that.
What
Yeah,
what was the first team you used?
well, me and my friends and some of my teammates, we have a little rule where we can't do ranked teams, so none of the top 25. And we spin a wheel for what conference we're doing. So I think my first team was I think it was like Liberty, or it was Liberty, I think. So yeah.
Okay, got you. And what's your overall thoughts on the game? Do you like it? I know it's got mixed reviews. What do you think about the game so far?
I love it. I feel like it's pretty realistic. I mean, it's a little different from Madden compared to the controls and stuff, but I love the atmosphere. It's like they could definitely put their time in the game, and I feel like the product's pretty well. So it's very fun to play with your friends because you can also play with some of your teammates too, your former teammates, people you know maybe played against. So that's always fun, and you can like send them a little video like, oh yeah, you just got blurred or whatever. Like, but it's a fun little game. It's just cool to see your friends and teammates on the game also. So that's pretty cool.
Man. In the last few, so I'm gonna say a category, I'm gonna say a word, and I want you to say the player that you think describes this word the best. Okay. So
All right,
in football, GOAT. Your answer is
Tom Brady.
okay. Most clutch.
Uh, I would go probably D Hop. I like.
Why do you?
I feel like he just makes crazy contested catches. Like even at his age right now, I mean, he just makes these like double coverage, just crazy catches. So I feel like most receivers couldn't do that, but I feel like he's pretty clutch.
All right. Most dominant.
Ooh. Right now it's Patrick Mahomes. I feel like he's the best player in the NFL.
Can't argue with that one. Best at your position. Let's start with tight end and then tight end / receiver, whatever one you want to do there, and then defense at outside linebacker.
Yeah. Tight end, it's hard because I would have said Travis Kelce probably a couple months ago, but after watching this receiver show on Netflix, I didn't know how nasty George Kittle was. So I definitely could say George Kittle for that. And outside linebacker, I'm probably gonna go with like TJ Watt for sure.
Good answers. You know your stuff. All right. Most underrated.
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, offensively, there's a couple guys that I had on my fantasy team that carried me a little bit, which was a little shocking. But feel like a couple receivers, like receiver one, 2s and 3s. I mean, any of those guys are pretty underrated. Like Jordan Addison. I feel like T. Higgins is pretty underrated. Those type of people, and then defensively, Isaiah Simmons, and I also feel like Jair Alexander. He's a little underrated because I don't even know he's on the Packers, so it kind of holds him back a little bit. But yeah.
Okay. Another good answers. All right. Give me your top 4 contenders. You watch college football, right?
Sure.
Okay. Give me your top 4 contenders for this upcoming season.
1, I got Ohio State. 2, probably I'm honestly gonna say Georgia. Georgia's 2, 3's Bama, and 4. I got it between FSU and Oregon, so it's between one of those. Maybe Oregon because they got a new quarterback at FSU, but Oregon probably for 4.
Okay. All right, man. So I'm out of questions, man. I appreciate you coming on so much, Brayden. It's been a joy watching you. I'm gonna throw it to you. Any questions you have for me or any final words, people you want to thank before I let you get out of here?
I just want to thank my coaches and you invited me onto this show. I really appreciate it, and thanks for everything you've done.
Yes, sir. Well, go Longhorns. I'll have a story out on you, man. Good luck the rest of the way, and can't wait to see you week 1 when you guys play North Carolina.
Sir, thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, man. All right, y'all. So there you go, man. Again, one of my favorite things to do, interview these kids, man. It's nothing like seeing them smile on their face and, being able to get to know them better on a different level, not just recruiting, just in general, man. So I can't wait to see what he does, man. I mean, both sides of the ball, linebacker. Is going to play receiver. With receiver, he's dynamic too, man. So, I mean, this kid, I think just getting started with Brayden Rouse. Like, he has a dominant season. Like, I think you're going to see a whole bunch of offers come in. And that's what's so cool. Like, he's an athlete. So, for parents that's watching, make sure your kid can do a bunch of different things, man. Make sure you can play receiver, running back, tight end. Because when you go into that next level and college coaches is recruiting, like, oh, I can check A, B, C, D, E. And then it just makes it easier for them as they go on, man. But it's all the time I got. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I'll be back again next week for more. And I hope you guys